So right here, we have in the intro a loop, because I like the loop and pull. Just some clap. So then right here, we have the rock drums, which is the thing I hate the most. So difficult to get good sounding rock drums, or either I'm just stupid, I don't know. I have a sample of Crashes and China because I'm lazy. So, you know, that just sounds good right out the box. I have this big boy kick right here from the Phase 1 Metal Mayhem sample pack. And then oh, this is a snare I layered actually, I think. From I don't remember. I really don't remember. But it's a nice just punchy snare. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I can show you the processing on them too. So what I always do, I learned this from Rhythm, which I mean I don't really make Rhythm. Oh, well I didn't even do it this time. But usually what I do is I'll have a soft clipper and I'll make a bus with my kick and snare. Like these two tracks are routed here. And then I'll do a soft clipper and a limiter on them just to make them be super duper punchy. In the verse, I wanted it to sound more electronic. I just have a chime kick. He's got really good drum samples. And he's an insane artist, by the way. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's got nice samples too. And as you can see right here, I did this on FL Studio. It just makes it shorter, pretty much. I wanted it to be nice and snappy, so it's like a instead of like a because it's just no, we don't need all that. Okay. See, coming up to the I love being lazy, and this Phase 1 sample pack is fucking amazing for rock music. So this Metalstep Mayhem, I think. But yeah, it's just this loop. It's just so hype. It's just ready to go. So I use that to transition from so yeah, so then I'm pretty sure this is from the same sample pack. Oh shit, no, that's from my sample pack. Hey, go me. That's from the Disgusting Guitars Volume 1 sample pack. It's just little. It's so funny, like you can tell it's obviously fake without it being in context of like the rest of the mix. But when you have vocals going and synths and guitar and stuff, it's just like you can get away with so many things in production. It's ridiculous. The chorus is pretty much with the drums. It's pretty much the same as the intro, so no need to go over those. So, and then that same drum loop from the pre-chorus. Drifting through the void, no point. This is such a good song. Triplet thing, just. So yeah. And then, so we have new drums when this part comes in. Because I'm really specific about my drums. Because I really want, like, you know, different vibes and everything. So, gotta choose wisely. Just a big old slapper of a kick. Cymatics. Wow. I thought it was decap. But Cymatics is good sometimes. Another Cymatics drum. And a Cymatics clap. There you go. All you need are Cymatics. I bet the hat is too. Damn. I must have just gotten that sample pack at the time. So it's pretty simple. Yeah, I just added faster hat, second part of the verse, just to give it more like energy's building, you know. And I add this sample to way too many of my songs, but it just automatically is like energy. The hats and cymbals are really underrated. I think that they control a lot of like the how fast the song feels. So like, see, you can see right here. So like, it just gives it like a, oh shit, it's changing up type of thing. That's pretty much it. I bring in the Lil Tytan's pre-chorus. I just bring back in those claps from the intro. Then the same rock drums with like slight variations for the chorus. Oh, like here. See, I just did a little but yeah, and you notice I have the cymbals cut out completely. I don't think I had any reverb on these or anything, but if I did, I would automate the reverb to come off because I really like just like clean fucking cow. It's over. All right, that's it for the drums. Let's go over the guitars. These are the big boys right here. Big old guitar boys. So if you can't tell, those are from a contact library from Impact Soundworks called Hydra 8. And so basically you just you put in the MIDI and you're good to go. So these notes right here are just power chords. So really what it's playing is G, D, and G, you know. And the way I get the chords to come out, like with the, I forgot what they're called, like augmented or something. I just go ahead and bounce out the power chords. And then I'll make another piece of MIDI that's just single notes to give the illusion that it's playing like one of those chords, because it's just for some reason how the plugin works, it doesn't like to do big chords. Maybe it's like how this key would actually be played on the guitar wasn't possible or something, so I find it easier just to do that. And then I'll do a double guitar that has a lot of the highs scooped out, so that way it's just adding a little bit of beef, probably just like the mids. Okay, I got lazy on that one. I could have EQ'd it more, but it's cool. This still sounds good. So got all that going together. And one thing I learned recently that really helped me get better guitar sounds is that what makes the guitar tone sound good is not just like choosing the right amp settings and EQ and everything. It's really the bass. So right here, that bass is a gent or no Gen bass by Submission Audio, I think. And so what I do is I remove the fundamental in the guitar, and the bass fills in that place of the fundamental, and it just sounds a lot cleaner, and it just sounds a lot better. So I have the bass. As you can tell, that's low pass a lot. Yeah. That's my EQ for that. I usually dip somewhere around this area because there's usually some type of weird resonance around here. And I actually don't low pass my bass this far anymore, but that's probably because I haven't been using the bass fuzz tracks like I used to. But they do come in handy when you're having trouble getting your guitars to stand out. So all that is a fuck ton of distortion, and then it's high passed. And it just adds a lot of clarity to the guitar and the bass. You can even hear it with the guitars. Like it makes it sound like it's part of the guitar. Okay, here's without it. Here's with it. Might just make it sound more scratchy, who knows. The guitars only come in a little bit during the verse. I just have like a power chord, which is the same one from the intro. What's the point of enough? And then I just have like little palm mute rhythm. And let me get rid of the vocals for now. Where you at? Where you at, vocals? Yeah. And no, I did not sidechain the bass to the kick because the verse kick was specifically selected so that it meshes well with the bass. And this riff sounds so cool and it's so simple. Let me take out the bass so you can hear it. But yeah, I did that because I didn't know what else to do. What the fuck else am I gonna do? It was like, and so it was just like to build tension, get you ready for the chorus. Oh, I should go over this little pitch down thing. One thing, like I mentioned with the vocals, frequency shifters are fucking great for everything. So basically, that pitch down effect is just coming from this frequency shifter, which you could just say is it's close to the same thing as just changing the pitch, but I think it keeps all the harmonics in line or like relative to each other and moves it around. I don't know. I can't remember what it does, but I like the sound of it. And then I just have this little glitch effect from a sample pack I made. It just gives a really nice effect to it. All right, and then in the chorus, those are the same guitars as the intro, so nothing's really changed there. Ooh, solo. So if you've heard the song, you know there's a little solo in the background at the ending. There's the MIDI for the solo, so you can hear it. So yeah, that was just a lot of fucking around and see what happens. Which is really not that complicated of a solo, but it sounds good. And especially, I don't think I still have the MIDI for this, but I added a little harmony, so it's like. But yeah, that's pretty much it for guitar and bass. Okay, so in the intro, we have this little super saw. And that was just a really simple patch I made in Serum. But that's the MIDI for it. And I probably bounced it out with the effects already, but you can hear there's some reverb and delay going on. I have this little eliminate drum loop build, a riser. Oh yeah, that's a tape stop effect on guitar, but reversed. So it sounds like a guitar is like, I don't know how to explain it, but it just sounds cool to me. And the way you do that is sort of like the reverse reverb effect. You just record a tape stop and then you reverse it. I just have an explosion and it's high passed. And I think I got some stereo enhancer. Yeah. So I use Fruity stereo enhancer just to make it wider. Take out all the low so it doesn't clash with the bass. Oh yeah, I also have this KSMR Crowd effect in the beginning. And it meshes so well with the lyrics. I just wanted it to sound like really huge. I do that a lot in choruses too. Sometimes I add a crowd or a mob in the background. I have this little impact sound. So that mixed together with the crowd just really helps make it sound really big. We'll see during the verse. Stay silent or fight all this vibe. It's the same patch pretty much. Just filtered out to make room for his voice and the bass and guitars and stuff. During the hook, we just have the same patch, just low pass. Oh, this is something I forgot to mention with guitars. But, you know, we are talking about little effects and stuff, so this could be a good section for it. Right here, Fruity Balance. If you don't have FL Studio, I'm sure you have something like this in your DAW. It's basically a like utility. I think that's what they're called in Ableton. But so here's the hook guitar. Nope, where's it at? 42. Oh, guitar bus. There we go. So what this is doing is automating the see, I have it turned up by 3.5 dB, and then I have the mix level automated so that when my vocals stop, the little gets louder. Let me take out the vocals, you can hear it better. And see, it sounds like over the top if you don't have the vocals with it, but once everything is together, like, it makes sense. And that's just because I needed the guitars to be a little bit quieter while I was singing, and then have them louder when it's just a guitar, so it stays at a nice even volume. Also, during the hook, I have this little mob. So just, you know, pretty much just adds a bunch of chaos. So whenever Lil Tytan comes in, I really wanted the vibe to switch up completely. Drift into the void, no point. It sounds so cool. Okay, so the way I did that. Drift into the void, no point. So you notice at first, there's nothing that indicates trap metal all of a sudden. It's just his voice and a kick. Drift into the void, no point. But then I add this effect in there, which is a nice little scary thing. And I wait for the bass, like drifting through the void. So, you know, it really adds effect. And okay, so the way I made that bass is just pretty much an electro bass from a sample pack I made once more. So it's just yeah. And then the way I made that little that cool little, all I did was I turned mono off so these two notes would play at the same time, and it just gives it a cool sound. It's kind of like with respace, with the pitches being different, it gives it that little wobbly wobbly. So I made a little wobbly wobbly, and I added a fuzz track right here for the trap bass as well. So the same concept with the rock bass. And I don't know what this is. Let's see. That's cool. I made a rhythm out of a horror effect. Go me. I'm so cool. And then this is from another one of my sample packs. I pretty much, yeah, just changed the pitch to be B minor so it would be in key with the track. And it's from, I can't remember. It's on my BeatStars though, if you want to have a free version and a paid version. It's called something to do with horror. And I just have some guitars in the background to go along with the bass to make it sound more intense, you know. Alright, so here I just have some cinematic effects to make it. I really wanted it to sound like a dubstep build up, you know. Yeah, pretty much the same effects as in the intro. All my reverses and risers and stuff, and the guitar reverse reverb. So the way I did that transition so smoothly was I have all the other instruments cut out right here, except the snare to give it like a little rhythm. And same time the snare hits, you have the impact. Another impact that's high passed. And I have one of these reverses from a sample pack I made, of course. And a little glitch from a chime sample pack. That's my favorite thing right there. That's from Virtual Riot's Heavy Bass Design Volume 1, I think. But he's got like a whole list of basses that are glitch basses, and I use them for transitions all the time because they just add so much movement. I'll show you without it. It's just like with it. It just makes the beat feel more alive. And I have this little down lifter and a glitch I made. And I really just like using that glitch to add like a little transient to it because you see what I mean? I don't know if you can hear it, but it adds this extra like boom is happening, and it like brings your attention to the glitch or the little bassy thing. I have this piano, which is just a free Kontakt player library by Kontakt called Hybrid Keys. But I have the volume automated on it because when it first comes in, I want the speech to be what's paid attention to, or the main focus, and I want the piano to slowly come in just for the emotion of it, but not as like a main element. And then I have this, which is just that piano pitched up and then with Valhalla shimmer all the way wet. And let's get into these bad boys right here. Yeah, respaces. We love respaces. So here's the sub, which usually I would do a cleaner sub, but I kept trying to do a clean sub and it was not working for some reason. So I just got a respace and then just low passed it. And that's a mighty big spike in the mids. I don't know why I did that, but I did. And it worked, so whatever. I have this layer. I'm pretty sure that's Harmer. And then I have this. And that is my super secret special preset right there. It's really not that secret. It's from Zan Griffin's masterclass or whatever he did within the DAW. He had some cool presets. But then I have these birds. And who doesn't like a good bird? We need more birds in this society. But the birds I love using that particular sample just anytime I want something to be emotional or sound big, and big in like a happy atmospheric way. It's like you wouldn't notice it, but Yeah, I mean, you don't notice it, but if it wasn't there, you would notice it. And then for Logan's part, when he does the bridge, I really wanted to bring back the rock vibe, so I have this going on, which again is from a sample pack I made. That one's free. It's called Disgusting Guitars Volume 1, and it has a bunch of effects like that and guitar loops and stuff. And then we have this, also from that sample pack. I have a glass break in reverse. Make that sound. But yeah, it sounds cool. I don't know. Oh, and then I have a reversed kick. Because for some reason, when you do a reverse in the low end, it makes things sound bigger. And then I have this going in the background, which is just the fundamental and the fifth of the key. So I like to do that a lot to, once again, make things sound bigger and make them sound cohesive. I have a sample pack of those, but it's like my own private one. I never put that one out, but I call them space fillers, and I just, when I need to fill space, I put those in there. It just gives a nice vibe. And then we got the mob coming back in. So then at the end, I just have the vocals being low, automating the cutoff, and I'm doing the same thing with the piano, I think. Yeah, and the piano is just the same chords as the guitar does in the hook. So you see, pretty simple, really. Nothing too crazy. That's it. So now we're gonna look at Lil Tytan's vocals. Lil, L-I-L, Lil. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on. You know what? I'll just start from the beginning. In the beginning, there was Lil Tytan. Lil Tytan. All right.
Drifting through the void, no point of return. Cast out by the devil.
So that is the lead vocal. GV stands for goth voice, and goth voice double.
Drifting through the void, no point of return. Cast out by the devil.
And with the doubles, if there's only one, I usually just put some type of stereo enhancer or do like the delay Haas effect thing. And then we have this one, which is NV, which stands for normal voice.
Cast out by the devil. I'm a blade curse. Thought nothing of me.
And as you can hear, it's high passed a lot. Getting the goth voice to sound right took me a while because it's like it takes up a lot of the low mids, and vocals usually take up like low mids to mids, or low mids with the fundamental. So with this, it's kind of the same thing as like with guitar and bass. It's like,
cast out by the devil. I'm a blade curse. Thought nothing of me. I'm here to make it burn.
It's kind of like the goth voice is the bass and the normal voice is the guitar. Same type of concept. And I have the reverb stemmed out, which that's just a small room reverb with a short little pre-delay. And so I have these, I think they're all going into a bus together. Yeah, so I have all those routed to one bus and being compressed. And then we have screams.
I'm a blade curse,
which you can tell I've already affected, which is basically just a bunch of compression and distortion.
I'm a blade curse, here to make it burn.
Now my favorite, this is my favorite part. I love doing vocal effects. So I have this little thing, which is him saying drifting.
Drifting through.
So just drift. And I have the pitch automated. So without the automation, yeah, sounds the same pretty much. Void. All right, and okay, so here's all the fun effects. I I love doing shit like this. I have a lot of reverse reverbs, which is like you just take the word that you want to reverse, reverse it, add reverb, bounce it out, and then reverse it again. And then that'll give you this. So it just gives it a little more energy.
Cast out by the devil.
Oh, and I did this little thing too. It's just him saying devil with a bunch of effects on it and like pitch down.
Cast out by the devil.
I just thought, you know, with him saying the devil line, it just added a little extra like devilness to it, you know.
I'm a bloody curse. Thought nothing.
Reverse reverb thing again. This is one of my favorite things. I don't even remember how I did this really, but
Here to make it burn.
That right there. Oh, and then I have a delay of that also. And then I have a low pass filter right here. So that's just automating the cutoff so it gets out of the way of the rest of the vocals. And it sounds cool. And, you know, it's like you wouldn't think to do something like that, right? That's not like the general consensus of vocals is compression, EQ, delay, reverb, you're good. But no, you can take it farther, bitch.
Here to make it burn.
It just adds so much because it's like it sounds funny by itself, like a little pitched up bird, but like in context, it sounds so good.
Here to make it burn. I'ma show these motherfuckers.
It's like do the opposite of trying to make them sound good, and you'll come up with really cool ideas. So yeah, right here we have the reverse reverb, and then also a reverse delay. So it's the same concept with the reverse reverb, except, you know, do delay instead of reverb. Then I have... Oh, and you also notice I always bounce out my reverb so I can just cut them. I could automate like the wet dry of the reverb, but that's too much work. And I don't even know what this harmony is.
God resurrected from the pits of Lazarus.
There we go.
God resurrected from the pits of Lazarus. God resurrected from the pits of Lazarus. God resurrected.
Yeah, because he said he wanted his voice to be like a little lower. But when people tell me to do that, I usually don't do it on the actual main vocal because it's just too apparent. You know, it just sounds too weird.
God resurrected from the...
But whenever you put it like as a layer, it works really well. So we've got that. And then...
No, you don't like me!
So for these, I really wanted to make it sound really big when the chorus comes back in.
No, you don't like me!
Or when the before the chorus comes back in, actually. So I have all these effects on his last scream. That sounds fucking cool. I forgot that was there. But yeah, so what I did was I did a delay on his scream, and then I put a frequency shifter on the delay to like rise it in pitch to turn the delay of his scream into a riser. So without the frequency shifter, just a regular old delay. Frequency shifter. And I like using frequency shifters when I can versus just automating the pitch, because sometimes it just gives you these weird artifacts that sound cool. And sometimes they can be useful for like drums and stuff. And right here, right before the chorus, we have...
I'm a God resurrected from the pits of Lazarus. I'm a God from the pits of Lazarus.
For that part, I had a pitch down, maybe like 5 or 6 semitones.
God resurrected from the pits of Lazarus.
And just compress them together. And then for the DJ effect, I don't know if there's anything like this in other DAWs, but I have Fruity Scratcher. And basically what I'll do is, here, I'll give an example.
System failure. System failure.
Okay, so what I'll usually do, I'll put Edison, and if you don't have FL Studio, you can just like record whatever you're doing, and I'll just record me fucking around a lot. So just
Failure. System failure. System failure.
but yeah, you get the point. So I'll record that. I'll just like go crazy with it and just till I can't no more. And then I got like a bunch of scratches to choose from, and I just chop them up. All right, that's all for Lil Tytan. So we got Lo's vocals. And sorry, Lo, I keep calling you Logan. It's just my brain, I hear Lo, the first part, and I'm like, Gun. It's Logan. Artist name is Lo, L-O. Alright, so, let's see here.
How many more people have to die till you wake up and do what's right?
So that is the intro. Let's see here. We got whisper rap in the left ear, whisper rap in the right ear.
How many more people have to die?
We have a low.
How many more people?
And a double.
How many more people have to die?
And then we got these screams in the background.
Have to die. Do what's right.
And then a high scream.
You have to die. Do what's right.
And his fries are pretty crazy. Okay, but yeah. And then all together, oh, and PC.
People have to die.
That stands for parallel compression. Basically, I can show you what I do with that. So I take the main vocal. Oh, and by the way, these are all routed to individual buses. And then, oh, well, yeah, that's it. They're all routed to individual buses. But the parallel compression thing, what I usually do, route it to another track or to a synth, and then I have a preset I've made where it's just Isotopes Neutron with this preset, which is called aggressive parallel compression or something. And I haven't even really looked at it. I just kind of browse the presets and see what worked the best, and this seemed to be the best one. Probably the combination of heavy compression, the distortion or saturation, and the bumps up in those higher frequencies. And then I put a hard limiter on it. And then I don't know, some people don't fuck with doing that, but I do, and it seems to help the vocals stand out a lot. And plus I mix things to be really loud, so I'm always trying to get as loud as I can, and need every bit of help I can get. This is the reverb. So just really small room with a little bit of pre-delay on it. Let's see here. Okay, so we got, and then we have this. Together already sounds really cool, but I really love adding these little layers. Which probably isn't even necessary, but to me it just gives it a little extra like detuned, chorusy monster vibes, if that makes any sense. So yeah, basically I just took one of them. Let's see, I did about 300 or so, 3 semitones up, and then 3 semitones down. It just gives it a little more like, yeah. And I have parallel distortion. Because it screams, you need distortion. You know what? I'm also going to, just because I'm feeling like a gentleman, show you my Scream starter kit. This is usually what I load on for Screams. I mean, I'll mess with it and add more stuff later. But yeah, I just have it going into a high pass filter, straight into gain reduction, because once again, I'm a Joey Sturgis stan. And taking out some lows because the gain reduction introduces some low frequency buildup, so I take that out again. Then we have it go into Soothe on the Invisible De-esser preset. So that's what I usually start out with, and for the most part, it just seems to work. And I'll get in there and get more granular if I have to. But if I don't have to, why would I? Why would I?
There's no chance for beginning. This world is on fire. I wanna escape.
I'm jealous. So we have this man's beautiful little bridge right here.
Don't think much of me. You'll just break my heart.
So here is the main event vocal.
Don't think much of me. You'll just break my heart. You'll lead me to water, hide me in the dark.
So this has already been tuned and processed and all that stuff. I can show you my usual for clean vocals. It's pretty much the same thing as for the screams. I have a utility for volume because I usually record or quiet input, and this preset changes from time to time because I use track assistant, voice, upfront, intensity medium, and that's because I'm not an engineer. I just want things to sound good as quickly as possible so I can focus on the fun stuff. So as much as I can get the computer to work for me, I will do it. Then it goes into gain reduction again, JST stand, JST, and Soothe on the vocal de-esser. Oh, and when I made this preset, I actually accidentally had the depth all the way up, so I'll probably keep it around here to here. Also for the car recordings, they have a really good preset called "So You Messed Up the Vocal Recording," and it just like instantly makes it sound better. And I usually do a pretty big spike around here somewhere, and then it instantly cleans it up. It's amazing. Then we got parallel compression again, and a fake double, which is what I do when I don't have a double.
Don't think much of me. You'll just break my heart. You'll lead me to water.
Okay, and I've already bounced it out, so I can show you how I make that. But
don't think much of me. You'll
so we got our delays, reverb. The reverb is Valhalla Room again, and then the delays are just a stock delay with Camel Crusher distortion. But yeah, let's get into making the fake double. So let's say you're working with somebody and they don't send you a double, or you comp the vocal and now there's nothing left for a double. Do not fret, my friend.
Don't think much of me.
Alright, I'm just going to route this to another channel so I can affect the same signal in a different way while keeping the dry signal in there So you can pretty much do this with any reverb. But what I do is depth up all the way, smallest room, no pre-delay, or smallest decay time, no pre-delay. I turn up the mod depth and the mod rate. Turn down the volume. Make sure it's just that, yeah.
Don't think.
Yeah.
Don't think.
And that gives it like a, oh, and turn the room size down all the way too.
Don't think much of me, you'll just.
So it's basically a chorus. And a lot of the times I play around with, I'll make it mono. So we have the chorus being mono.
Don't think.
And then going into stereo enhancer again and widening it. And the reason I do that is because it makes it feel more authentic, like it's a real double. Because the doubles sound good because no matter how much you tune it and everything, there's going to be a slight variation in the sound. And I guess timbre or the harmonics, I don't really know exactly. But I know the double works because of the differences in the sound, the slight little variations. So to recreate that, I have the chorus. The chorus is like the variation in timbre, and then I make it mono because the plugin makes it more stereo. So, and whenever you record a vocal, if you were to record an actual double, it's not stereo, it's mono. So we have the variation come in and then back to mono to make it sound more like recorded, and then back in the widening, because then you split that signal, the varied up signal, into doing the Haas effect thing. So it feels wider. So it feels like what you would do if you had one double or you had two doubles, each going left and right. And sometimes I'll do like
Don't think.
a certain setting on the chorus or the reverb, and I'll bounce that out and pan it left, and then I'll do another variation on it and then make it mono, bounce it out, and pan it right, and then that can work too sometimes. But it really varies from project to project. Just experiment and you'll figure it out. All right, that was Logan's vocals. But yeah, this is after compression and soothe and all that. And I'll go through the actual vocal chain later and actually show you what I usually do. But here we go.
It's just from the void. Can you hear them crying?
And that sounds fairly mediocre, but then we add in a double.
It's just from the void. Can you hear them crying?
And that's already sounding better. And with the double, it's just, instead of doing two and panning them left and right, sometimes I'll just do one and then just use stereo enhancer. Oh, and this is a layer. Okay, so I've been doing this lately. I'll do one layer of vocals that's like way over the top, raspy. And Melodyne has a really hard time tuning that, and I have a hard time singing in key like that, so this is what it sounds like.
Inches from the void, can you hear them crying? Darkening the sun, Lazarus rising.
Sounds terrible by itself, but listen to it with and without it. Okay, without.
Inches from the
With.
inches from the void, can you hear them crying?
It just adds some grit to it. And then I also have distortion on it, which you can tell that's already been bounced out. Yep. Oh, and I have stereo enhancer on that as well, except you can see I have the phase offset to the right instead of the left. And I think this is basically doing the Haas effect. I'm assuming, I'm really not sure. So I have the Haas effect coming one way for the double, and then one way for the raspy part, and I think that just fills in the stereo spectrum nicely, or whatever it's called. Then I have one low.
And just from the void, can you hear them crying?
And pretty hard tuned. And then that's in the left. And then this one in the right.
And just from the void, can you hear them crying?
And then I have a fake harmony.
It's just from the void, can you hear them crying? Darkening the sun, Lazarus rising.
Which sounds super fake and bad by itself, but whenever you put everything together, you can't tell, and it just sounds like epic instead of like shit.
And just from the void, can you hear them crying? Darkening the sun, Lazarus rising.
But yeah, this part, that harmony really makes the chorus sound like it does. Because without it, it's just
Lazarus rising.
I mean, that sounds okay, but you add this in.
Lazarus rising.
And it's also doing, I think it's a major third on that harmony, so it gives it that epic, like, pentatonic feel. That nice rock and roll feel. And then I have some delay that I've already bounced out. And lately I've been putting distortion on my delays also. Okay, reverb track spaced. Okay, so what's going on there is there's a plugin called Track Spacer. So what's happening is the EQ of the reverb is sidechained to the dry signal.
It's just from the void, can you hear them crying?
So every time there's space, the reverb comes back in, but it's never taking place with the main vocal. And you really don't have to do that. I've gotten great results without doing that, but sometimes if I'm having trouble getting as big of a sound as I want, it helps. Or if the vocal's not cutting through like I wanted to. So just like with Lil Tytan, we have some little reverse reverb things going on. And then I have this delay for crying, the word crying. And I have it twice because I have it come in again after I say dying. And I just like doing stuff like that because I just like seeing what I can get away with. It's kind of fun. And then because it sounds like it's in the background anyway, so it sounds like it's eyeing. So it's like dying and crying. It works for both.
Darkening the sun, Lazarus rising. How much blood?
Or okay, so rising, not dying. But yeah, this is another thing I do a lot. It's very subtle, but without it, it just doesn't sound the same. So I do these like little glitches. So basically, I just took all the vocals and exported them to a single file, and then I can just make little glitches of like, so this is just how being like oh, oops. Barely even hear it, but so it's just like how much blood, you know, just add some nice movement to it. Oh, the Woahs, I forgot about those. And those are played throughout whenever Logan's bridge comes in. And yeah, they sound pretty good. Also recorded in my car. Very hard tuned. Oh, maybe not. So I have 2 low and then 2 falsettos. And then 1 belt. I have everything routed into this O bus. Pretty simple EQ. Compressor that's basically doing nothing apparently. These are the settings for reverb. I really love Valhalla plugins. I use them all the time. And I really like large chamber reverb mode. I don't know why. And yeah, so you can just copy those settings if you want to sound like that. Oh, some more EQ and some more EQ. And I really don't know how to explain the EQ. I just fuck with it until it sounds better. Yeah, usually with almost any sound, if it's too harsh, check this range, like 2 to 4K, especially 3.4K and 6.8K, because those are the bad ones, especially because that's where our ears are attenuated to be able to hear human speech. So we pick that up louder than we do other frequencies. I think there's some other range too, but I don't remember. Alright, so that's all for ChillPanic's vocals.